Welcome to the Steel City. Is everybody ready to go? Let's proclaim the greatest radio show.
Welcome, spread fans, to our Week 3 pick show. I'm your host, Jim Sella, here with Jay Dash. Sorry if you missed the pick show last week. We had some technical difficulties. Dash's computer just went...
Well, not my computer. It was that flash drive.
The flash drive speed.
Yeah, we lost pretty much everything.
So we don't even know what our records are.
Oh, I found it, dude.
I wins than you.
I found it in a folder, so we're good.
Man, I was gonna say, don't forget, I have the most wins all time.
No.
The damn record's resurfaced. All right, Dash. Week 3. We missed week 2. Did anybody even do that well last week? Did you know? I think I went 2-3. You went 3-2. I'm
not quite sure, man, what we did.
It's like, off the top of my head, it looks like John might have went 1-2-1, 2-2. It looks like John might have went 3-2. So pretty good here and there.
Better than week 1.
Please believe. Well, what do we got for week 3? We got a couple of good matchups, and we got one boring-ass game that you picked.
Yeah, it is going to be a boring game, but I'm taking it.
Which game we doing first?
Well, we got 3 1 o'clock games here. We're going to start with Easy's. He is 127, 116, and 8 all-time, but he's 51, 32, and 6 in his last 89 NFL picks, and he's 9, 2, and 3 in his last 14 picks of the week.
So he was a slow starter and a quick finisher.
Believe.
Hopefully it's different with the ladies.
He's going with Miami at the New York Jets. The Jets are +6, and the over-under is 43 in this game.
Easy likes the Jets, huh?
Easy likes Miami.
Oh, Easy likes Miami. Okay, yeah, my bad. I think I'm going to agree with him there. The Jets are garbage. Who are they even starting at quarterback right now? Josh McCown? I mean, come on now. They might as well just give the ball to Christian Hackenberg or Bryce Petty, but I think Petty may be hurt, actually. The Jets are terrible. They're tanking as an organization. They say they're not, but they are. I mean, they've given up worse than the Browns have. The only difference is the Browns have draft picks, and the Jets still just blow, and they don't have anything. Miami's not a great team, but I don't know. Can Cutler play better than Tannehill? I think they're pretty much on the same level. I don't think one's really too much better than the other.
I disagree with that.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine. I just never was that big on Tannehill. I'm not saying I think Cutler's good. I think they're both middle-grade quarterbacks, and Cutler brings a strong arm and maybe a better presence throwing the ball downfield, but Tannehill might be a little better moving around and a little more accurate.
And a more winning quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, Adam Gase coached Cutler in one of his best years at quarterback, so that's why it's kind of an okay fit as far as their offense goes. I know 6 is a lot of points, but, man, I don't even think the Jets can score 6 points. I'm going to go with Easy in Miami.
Well, Johnny Parlay and I are going to go the other way and say the New York Jets. I know. I agree with you. Everything you're saying about the Jets, man, they're not good at all. I disagree with you that Tannehill and Cutler are on the same level. Cutler may be better in fantasy, possibly. Maybe not even better in fantasy, because there's times he'll get you -8 points with his 4 picks. So I say Tannehill was way better. In fact, Miami was a good team last year. Right now, they do not look good at all, although they did get off to a slow start last year as well. But considering this is +6 for the Jets at home, really, to me, Miami is not a good team. Jarvis Landry may not play in this game. I'm not so sure about that right now, but we'll see. Either way, I'm going to say the New York Jets are able to cover. You might be right. Miami might win this game, but +6 at home for the Jets, I have to take it. I don't care what team it is. +6 at home is pretty nice. Maybe if it was Cleveland, I wouldn't take it.
Now, this is Johnny Parlay's survivor game. He's taking the Dolphins. What do you think about that?
I mean, he said he was going with whoever's playing the Jets, so he's sticking to it. But I don't know. I wouldn't. I think I'd try to find something else.
I'm looking at possibly Green Bay. I forget who they play, but I just know I looked it up earlier, and that's who I think I'm going to pick.
So we got a spread split here. 2 on Miami and 2 on the Jets. That is Easy's pick of the week with Miami. We're going to go with my pick of the week next. I am 47-36-6 over my last 89 picks. I'm going with that boring game you were talking about, Cleveland at Indianapolis. Indianapolis is an underdog at home versus the Cleveland Browns, though. So it's +1, and the over-under is 41. So just the fact that Cleveland, I think I read this is the first time Cleveland's been a favorite since 2015. Maybe that's just on the road. I'm not sure.
No, I think you're right. I think I read the same thing.
But the fact that they're a favorite in this game makes no sense to me. I know Indy hasn't looked good, but they actually went out and I think they took Arizona to overtime last week. And Arizona, they're not the greatest team in the world either, but they're a lot better than Cleveland, if you ask me. And the fact that this is at home, I know they got quarterback problems out there in Indy, but they still have a lot of problems out there in Cleveland as well. Kaiser didn't look as good in week 2 as he did in week 1, so we'll see where he goes from there. But Cleveland's just, they should not be favored on the road. It just shouldn't happen.
Man, I want to say I agree with everything you just had to say, but at the same time, I'm taking Cleveland because I think they're going to win this football game. I think Kaiser comes out and has, I don't want to call it a surprise game because I think he's going to be good eventually, or at least serviceable. But I think he comes out and has a good game here against the Colts. The defense doesn't scare me. Hugh Jackson challenged Kenny Britt to step up with Corey Coleman going down, so you might see Kenny Britt actually catch a pass for once. I just have no faith in Indy. I like Jacoby Brissett better than Scott Tolzien, but, man, the only way I wouldn't pick Cleveland in this game is if Luck was playing, and even then I might pick Cleveland because the line would be higher, and I just think the Colts are a bad football team. They may be just as bad as the Browns.
I don't believe that at all, and nobody else does either, man. You were going spread solo with Cleveland. Johnny Parlay's going Indy. Easy's going Indy. We're all going Indy. You're saying Cleveland. You were high on Cleveland going into last season.
Dude, I'm telling you. Better watch out.
Better
Browns
watch
are
out.
going to win 8 games next year.
Next year, 8 games. 500.
Yep, they're going to win 6 games this year.
Who will end up in last? I'm guessing you're saying Cincy ends up in last next season?
Yeah, Cincinnati's going to win 4 games this year. They're terrible.
So who ends up in last this season then?
In our division?
Yeah.
The Bengals. It's going to be the Bengals at 4-12, the Browns at 6-10. The Ravens might squeak in at 10-6.
So you're saying the Browns are 0-2 right now. You're saying they go 6-8 from here on out.
Please believe.
Insanity.
Yeah.
All right, we'll go with your pick of the week next. You are 81-71-6 in your last 158 picks, and you're 28-18-3 in your last 49 picks. You were going with a game that is expected to be a blowout. Houston at New England. New England's -14, and the over-under is 44.
I know Houston is going to be playing Deshaun Watson. I know their offense isn't great. I know the Patriots are going to win this football game. They're my other option here for my Survivor League. But there's just, in my mind, there's no way they beat this Houston defense by 14 points. I don't remember if it was last year or the year before they played the Texans, who had a garbage quarterback. They haven't had anybody down there in years. And the line was somewhere around this, or 16, and I think I might have teased it or whatever. And then they only won by like 2 points. Houston almost won the football game. The defense for the Texans is the exact style of defense that can stop Tom Brady. Now, I don't think they're going to win the game because I'm pretty sure the Patriots have never lost to a rookie quarterback at home. They've lost to a rookie quarterback 3 times on the road. One of them was Ben Roethlisberger. I don't remember who the other 2 were. So there's no way Watson beats him at home, but I just don't feel like they're going to cover this line, man. Houston defense, J.J. Watt, you kidding me?
Yeah, well, I tell you what, man. Week 1, the Jaguars went out and torched this Houston defense. So I know it's week 1, and you really got to wipe away what happens in week 1. But they weren't completely shut down in week 2 either. So I don't know if Houston's defense is the same as it was last season or not. I'm going to go with you and say Houston because that is too big of a line for me. It is in New England now, so I could definitely see New England covering this line. I would have stayed away from this game personally, but I didn't know which way to go. You feel good about it. You obviously did. You made it your pick of the week. So I'm kind of just going to go with you on this, though. I'm not sold on it at all, man. I could see New England going out there and dominating. You seen what Tom Brady did last week. After week 1, we were hoping that's what he'd do all season. Well, you wipe away week 1. He went out in week 2 and completely torched. Who'd they play last week?
Was it the Saints?
The Saints. That's who it was. They went out. Yeah. Now, the Saints' defense and Houston's defense are definitely two totally different defenses, obviously. But I don't know, man. I'm not sure about this. I'm going to go with Houston with you. Johnny Parlay and Easy are going to go New England, though. And I can see why.
I'm shocked that Parlay's taken a team favored by that
I was
much.
Surprised, too.
He never bets emotionally. He's always picking these games logically.
Makes sense. That's why we don't do the Steelers on this segment, man.
I'm picking them again this week.
You always pick them.
Ball.
All right, let's see what we got here. Johnny Parlay's pick of the week is next. He is 89, 74, and 5 over his last 168 picks, and he's 5-2 over his last 7 picks of the week. So he is balling right now. Oakland at Washington. Washington is +3, and the over-under is 55 in this game. And this is the one spread sweep we have.
So we're all going Oakland.
All going Oakland.
I like it. I thought about this game for my own pick of the week. I'm a little weary of it for a survivor pick, although I don't know why. Washington hasn't shown any reason that they should be able to beat Oakland. But you know how I am about West Coast teams traveling east or East Coast teams traveling west. I hate those games. And I try to stay away from them because I always pick the loser. But, man, that Oakland offense has looked pretty good, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's looked real good. And they went out there and dominated Tennessee in week 1. Tennessee is a team I'm pretty high on. And Oakland went out there and handled them. And so far, they've handled business at 2-0. And they don't look like they're going to stop. Considering this is just +3 for Washington, I think Oakland can go out there. If it's a 3-point win, you push. But I think it's going to be at least a 3-point win for Oakland. They just look like one of the better teams in the AFC and in the NFL at this point to me. Derek Carr isn't really shown any signs from that, any bad signs from that injury from last season. He looks good to go. They lost Latavius Murray, but Marshawn Lynch has come in and looked pretty good out there. Amari Cooper and Michael Crabtree are pretty, top-end targets around the league, really. Michael Crabtree's not a guy I've been high on, really, over the course of his career. But now that you give him one of those dominating quarterbacks like Derek Carr, he's proven to be one of the top, I'd say, 20, 25 wide receivers in the game. I'm going Oakland.
I don't want to say worried, but I wouldn't be shocked if Washington's offense woke up and they made this a game. They played well over the last few years. I know they lost some weapons around Kirk Cousins, but they also added a few. Terrell Pryor hasn't played up to his standard. He believes he can play so far. And I know Kirk Cousins hasn't played up, as well as he thinks he can play. Cousins is one of those quarterbacks at home, plays so much better than he does on the road. So that could be one saving grace for Washington, but I'm still going to go with Oakland.
I want to say Rob Kelly is hurt, their running back. One of their running backs are hurt. I don't know if it's him or not.
The running backs are always beat anyway.
Yeah. Everybody going to Oakland, though.
Believe.
And that is the Sunday night game. The third straight week we did Sunday night. I know we didn't get our games in last week because of what happened. But, yeah, we're going Sunday night every week so far. And we're doing Monday night every week this season as the 5th game. And that this week is Dallas at Arizona. And Arizona's +3.5.
Dallas cost me $50 last week in that game against Denver. They blew it. They're garbage.
Yeah, what was the score? 42-17 or something?
Yeah, I had Dallas teased to +2.5, and I thought, well, I might lose by, they might kick a field goal and lose, whatever. I never thought I'd see them get blown out the way they did. Maybe lose 10-7, but come on. They just let Denver just do anything they wanted. Trevor Siemian, dude's garbage.
Yeah,
All
Dallas
that said,
went-
I'm still going to take Dallas in this football game because I think Arizona's even worse. I think Carson Palmer's an 85-year-old statue. They have no running back now with Johnson out. They brought in another Johnson, but he's beat. And what is it? J.J. Nelson's like the only receiver playing well. I hate to say that because I love Larry Fitzgerald, but he hasn't really played up to his standard this year either, mostly because Carson Palmer can't throw the football because he has a noodle arm and a girly knee.
Yeah, Cleveland going up against Indy. We mentioned you're taking Cleveland. Arizona almost lost to Indy last week, so it makes sense for you there. Arizona didn't look good at all last week. Dallas didn't look good at all last week. Dallas did look okay in week 1. They handled the Giants. I think the Giants put up less than 10 points in that game. It was like 17-3 or 6 or something. Dallas had a terrible week last week. No run game. They have one of the best offensive lines in the game, and they looked terrible last week. I think they get back on track. I don't like the fact that this is 3.5. I wish it was 3. I'd feel a lot better about it. Johnny Parlay's going spread solo here, taking the home underdog, which he usually does. I think
Home
Dallas.
dog.
I think Dallas is a better team than they showed last week. That was their first road game, playing back-to-back road games. They're going to go into Arizona, and I think they'll handle business. They'll get that run game going out there, and Dak Prescott will look a little better than he has so far as well.
Yeah, what was it, like 9 carries for 8 yards for Elliott last week? That was crazy. And then that interception where he was standing right near the guy who caught it, and Elliott just put his head down and walked away like a little girly man. What a pansy. Tackle somebody.
Yeah, so that's it, man. What are we doing here? Spread solo for Johnny Parlay. The rest of us are saying Dallas. You were going
Believe.
Miami, Cleveland, Houston, Oakland, and Dallas. I am going the Jets, the Colts, Houston, Oakland, and Dallas. So we got 3 the same.
Man, I need a 5-0 week.
I think if you're going to go with one here, I think Oakland's the pick, man.
We'll see how it goes. Hopefully it turns out better than last week when I would have been 2-3, but we won't add that into the record because it wasn't on the air.
Believe it. We missed 1 week last season, too.
Yeah, computer malfunctions. It's a bitch. Especially when I live 200 miles away.
Believe.
Fans, questions, comments, hit us up on Twitter at bet_the_spread. Hit me up on Twitter at betjimtowin. Check out our Facebook page at facebook.com/betthespread. Come back to YouTube, click subscribe, check out our other episodes. We do Steeler episodes, fantasy episodes. If you want us to do an episode about your mom, hit us up. We're on it.